There's a moment you've probably lived before. You're with her, maybe in the car, maybe on the couch, maybe standing in the kitchen while she scrolls her phone and says, "I'm fine," in that flat tone that tells you she's not fine at all. And nothing big has happened. No screaming, no breakup talk, no dramatic scene. But something feels off. The air is heavier. Her body is there, but it doesn't feel like she's with you. She answers, but doesn't open. She stays, but doesn't soften. And you can feel yourself wanting to do something, say something, fix something, anything. And in your head, it sounds like this. What did I miss? Why does she feel so far away right now? Why does it feel like the more I try, the worse it gets? Does she even want this the way I want this? Am I losing her? Here's the truth most men never hear. She does not like you more because you said the perfect thing. She likes you more because being around you feels emotionally safe before a single word ever leaves your mouth. That changes everything. So no, you're not failing at love. This is not proof that you're not enough. And it's not a sign that something is broken beyond repair. Every person who has ever cared deeply about someone has stood exactly where you're standing. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand the silent behaviors that make her feel more drawn to you, more relaxed around you, and more open with you, without performing, chasing, or trying to impress her. Let's get into it. Most couples believe attraction is built mostly through words, compliments, flirting, big talks, perfect timing, saying the right thing at the right moment. But the real truth is deeper than that. Attraction lives beneath the surface first. Your presence hits her nervous system before your personality hits her mind. The way you look at her, the way you carry pressure, the way you respond when she's emotional, the way your energy changes when you don't get what you want. She is reading all of that long before she consciously decides how she feels about you. That's why so many guys get confused. They think, but I text her back, I compliment her, I ask how her day was, and yet she still feels distant, still slightly guarded, still a little withdrawn. Because connection is not built by effort alone. It's built by emotional safety. And when safety leaves a relationship, attraction doesn't always disappear. A lot of the time, it just goes underground. Here's the thing. Most couples spend way too much time trying to improve communication without changing the emotional tone underneath the communication. But if your tone, your tension, your reactivity, your neediness, or your defensiveness is making her body brace, then even your kind words can land like pressure. This is where attachment really matters. If she has ever felt unseen, rushed, criticized, managed, or emotionally alone, her nervous system will start protecting her before her logical brain can explain why. And if you've ever felt rejected, ignored, or unsure where you stand, your nervous system will push you to chase harder, fix faster, talk more, prove more. That's the cycle. One person reaches harder, the other pulls back faster. Not because they don't care, because both people are trying to protect themselves in different ways. So if you want her to like you more, want you more, and feel more connected to you, you do not start by saying more. You start by becoming someone her body can relax around. Not louder conversations, not better pickup lines, not some fake alpha performance, but steady presence, real self-control, emotional maturity she can feel. That's what changes the entire dynamic. So let's get into the 7 silent shifts that make her feel closer to you without you having to force anything. 1. Calm is attractive. Most couples think attraction disappears because the spark faded. But most people in relationships miss that what actually fades first is safety. And when a woman doesn't feel safe with your energy, she may still care about you, but she stops fully relaxing into the connection. Here's the deeper truth. Your nervous system trains her nervous system. If you get tense fast, frustrated fast, jealous fast, or cold fast, her body starts anticipating emotional impact even in small moments. She feels like she has to manage your moods instead of enjoy your presence. And no one feels deeply drawn to someone they have to emotionally brace around. Beneath the surface, what she feels is, I never know which version of him I'm getting. So picture this. Disconnecting version. She says, I think I just need a little space tonight. And your face drops, your tone hardens, and you say, wow, okay, whatever. Connecting version. She says, I think I just need a little space tonight. And you stay steady. You nod. You say, got it. Take the time you need. No guilt, no punishment, no sulking silence. That hits differently. Because now her brain is quietly registering, he can handle my truth without making me pay for it. And when you do that, you stop feeling like emotional pressure and start feeling like peace. 2. The eyes tell the truth. Here's the part no one talks about. Most couples underestimate how much disconnection starts in the tiny moments. Not the fight, not the breakup. The glance you don't return. The distracted, yeah, while looking at your phone. The way you physically stay there but emotionally leave the room. The deeper truth is this. Presence is one of the rarest forms of affection now. When you really look at her, not in a performative way, not in a needy way, not trying to get something, but with grounded attention, she feels chosen. She feels felt. And for a lot of women, that lands more powerfully than words because it answers an unspoken question beneath the surface. Am I actually with someone who sees me or just someone who's used to me? Think about the contrast. Disconnecting version. She's telling you about something that bothered her at work, and you keep half watching the TV saying, "That's crazy," every few seconds. Connecting version. You mute the screen, turn your body toward her, make eye contact. Stay with her face. Stay with the feeling. You don't rush in, you don't fix. You let your attention say, "I'm here." That kind of eye contact is not intense. It's reassuring. Not staring, not performing, not trying to seduce, just real presence. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. 3. Don't chase her mood. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Most couples think love means immediately reacting to every emotional shift. If she gets quiet, they panic. If she seems off, they press. If she pulls back, they chase. They think urgency proves care. But most people in relationships don't realize that pressure, even loving pressure, still feels like pressure. Here's the deeper emotional truth. She does not always need you to solve her mood. Sometimes she needs to feel that you are strong enough not to collapse inside it. When you chase every emotional change, what she feels is not always love. Sometimes she feels watched, managed, interrogated. Like she has to explain herself before she's even had time to understand herself. Bro, that matters. Because a woman often feels closer to a man who can stay grounded near her emotion than to one who needs immediate reassurance from it. Her internal experience becomes, he's not afraid of what I'm feeling. And that creates connection. Here's what that looks like. Disconnecting version. She gets quieter than usual, and within 2 minutes you say, "What's wrong? Are you mad? Did I do something? Why are you acting weird?" Connecting version. You notice the shift. You soften your energy. You stay warm. Maybe you touch her hand. Maybe you simply give her room without withdrawing your care. Later, if it feels right, you say, "You seemed a little off earlier. I'm here if you want to talk." That is a completely different emotional experience. This isn't a communication hack. This is what emotional steadiness looks like in real life. And that's the shift that turns a relationship from emotional monitoring into emotional trust. 4. Your body can reassure her before your mouth does. This is where it gets really interesting. Most couples focus only on words during connection and conflict. They obsess over phrasing, tone, timing. But most people in relationships ignore the fact that the body is speaking the whole time. Your posture, your size, your jaw, your eye rolls, your distance, your pacing, your hands. She feels all of it. The deeper truth is simple. The nervous system is like a smoke detector. It cannot always tell the difference between emotional danger and physical danger. So when your body signals irritation, contempt, shutdown, or impatience, her system sounds the alarm, even if your words are technically polite. That's why a man saying, "I'm listening," with crossed arms, an annoyed face, and restless energy does not feel emotionally available. She doesn't hear the sentence. She reads the signal. And the signal says, "You are not safe to fully open here." Look at the contrast. Disconnecting version. She brings up something vulnerable, and you lean back, exhale hard, glance away, rub your forehead, and say, "Okay, go ahead." Connecting version. She brings up something vulnerable, and you uncross your arms. You lean in slightly. Your face softens. Your breathing slows. Your phone stays down. Your body says, "You don't have to fight for space with me." And here's what changes everything. When your body stops feeling like resistance, she stops preparing for battle before the conversation even starts. Somewhere inside, she feels, maybe I can actually be honest here. And that's when your presence starts feeling like a refuge instead of a test. 5. Consistency is more romantic than intensity. But here's what nobody explains. Most couples overvalue intensity and undervalue consistency. They remember the big weekend, the long text, the dramatic apology, the emotional speech. But attraction that lasts is not built from occasional intensity. It is built from repeated emotional reliability. The deeper truth is that trust does not grow because of one impressive moment. It grows the way scar tissue forms, or the way walls form, slowly, through repetition. If you're warm one day, distant the next, deeply attentive one week, withdrawn the next, she starts adapting to instability. And when she has to adapt to instability, she cannot fully lean into connection. She stays partially guarded. Not big gestures, not last-minute charm, not one perfect night, but stable, grounded, repeated care. That's what makes someone feel real. Here's the contrast. Disconnecting version. After a rough week, you suddenly come in hot with compliments, plans, affection, and energy, but 3 days later, you're distracted, inconsistent, and hard to read again. Connecting version. You stay small and steady. You greet her warmly. You follow through. You notice things. You stay kind even when you're stressed. You become predictable in the ways that matter. And what starts happening in her mind is powerful. She begins thinking, I don't have to guess with him. And that thought is deeply attractive. Because when you're consistent, she doesn't have to spend her energy decoding you. She can spend it connecting with you. 6. Make space for her, don't crowd her. Here's the part that sounds backward, but is true. Most couples think closeness is created by more contact, more talking, more explaining, more reaching. But the real truth is that closeness often grows when someone feels free inside the relationship, not crowded by it. The deeper emotional reality is that desire needs room to breathe. If every moment with you feels like an unspoken demand for reassurance, affection, certainty, or emotional labor, she may care about you and still feel drained by your presence. That doesn't mean she wants less love. It means she wants love that breathes. Love without grip. Love without hidden pressure. Man, that one is huge. Because a lot of men think they are being loving when they are actually being heavy. And heaviness makes people withdrawn. Not because they're cold, because their nervous system wants air. Here's the contrast. Disconnecting version. She says she wants a quiet evening to herself, and you respond with 10 subtle bids for reassurance. Extra texts, you good? Check-ins, passive comments, weird distance, emotional static. Connecting version. She says she wants a quiet evening to herself, and you let her have it cleanly. No punishment, no guilt, no emotional invoice later. You stay secure enough not to make her freedom feel expensive. That's rare. And when you do that, she doesn't feel like she has to escape you to feel like herself. She starts turning toward you because being with you feels like freedom, not obligation. 7. Become the man who can stay. And this is the deepest one of all. Most couples think connection breaks because one person stopped caring. But most people in relationships don't see that connection usually breaks because one or both people stop staying emotionally present when things get hard. They go cold. They go sharp. They go performative. They go somewhere else. The deeper truth is that real intimacy is not built in the best moments. It's built in the 30-second moments after disappointment, after tension, after misunderstanding, after the facial expression changes, after the silence lands. That is where your character becomes visible. That is where she learns whether love with you is conditional or safe. This isn't about being passive. It's not about letting disrespect slide. It's not about becoming emotionally mute. It's about becoming someone who can stay connected to himself without abandoning the connection. Watch the contrast. Disconnecting version. She says something that stings your ego, and you instantly go sarcastic, shut down, get cold, or pull your energy away so she can feel the impact. Connecting version. You feel the sting. You notice it. You regulate first. Then you respond from clarity instead of reaction. Maybe you say less. Maybe you take a breath. maybe you simply choose not to turn one hard moment into an emotional fracture. And what moves through her in that moment is powerful. He's still here. He didn't disappear when this got uncomfortable. I don't have to be perfect to stay connected to him. That changes everything. Because that's when she stops feeling like she's in a relationship with your moods and starts feeling like she's in a relationship with you. So if you really want her to like you more, don't obsess over sounding smoother. Don't over-focus on the perfect line. Don't make this about techniques, tricks, or saying whatever gets the fastest reaction. Make it about who you are when no words are needed. Because this is not a checklist. It's an identity shift. It's you becoming more grounded, more emotionally available, more present, more real. And when that happens, she feels the difference before she can even explain it. She feels more relaxed, more open, more drawn in. Not because you performed better, because you became safer to be close to. That's what mature love actually looks like. These aren't tips to make a woman chase you. They're the beginning of becoming the kind of partner who creates connection instead of confusion, safety instead of cycles, and warmth instead of walls. And honestly, when you internalize that, you stop trying to win love and start becoming someone who naturally knows how to hold it.